So I wanted to record another video on this topic because last time in a video called God 1, Money 0, I talked about how God had won a super awesome but smaller battle in this war that this voice of money just keeps raging in my life, trying to cause anxiety and destruction all around me. But you guys, this time God has done something huge, and I just wanted to tell you guys all about it. First, I need to tell you about my business. Okay, so for the past 5 years or so, I've been buying houses, and I didn't come from a wealthy background, so I don't have tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting around to do this. So basically, I've just had to hustle and find financing and find deals and put the deals together. And some of these houses we hold and we turn them into rental properties. Some of these houses end up becoming vacation rentals. And some of the houses we fix up and we try to turn around, flip them, sell them for a profit. And like in any industry, when you do it for a while, you start to build around yourself a network, a team, you start to make connections. And in this industry, you bump into people who have a bunch of money and they don't necessarily want to manage rental properties or put in work to flip properties, but they definitely want to invest in real estate. So they look for people to partner with who are doing those things. So last winter, I bumped into two guys just like this who had a bunch of money, wanted to invest in some real estate, and through some mutual relationships, we formed a partnership and decided to do some deals together. And right about the same time as this, a ton of deals had come available in our market, and so I jumped on a lot of them, all right? I bought, between October and January of last year, I think I bought 10 properties. And I knew it was gonna be a lot to take on, but I knew they were good deals, and I knew if I could work hard enough and work all the pieces together, these were going to be great investments. And I don't know if you've ever flipped a house, but kind of the way it works is you buy a property, you're super excited, you got a bunch of money to do the rehab, and you got a big plan, right? And then you start to fix the house and you run into one bump after another and one change after another, and unexpected things come up as you tear into the walls, and it's just a crazy process, right? It's ever changing, and as the process progresses along, you start to run out of your money that you had allotted for the rehab. And so as these projects progress, it just gets more and more stressful. And so for us, we literally for this past year have had 6 or 7 of these flips going at one time. And you can imagine the weight of this has gotten super heavy, so much so that this summer, I just didn't know if we were gonna make it. I didn't know if all the pieces were gonna come together. I started to have doubts about this business in general. If I needed to continue this after I finished wrapping up these projects, are these gonna be the last ones? Do I need to throw in the towel because this is too much? I mean, for months we've been just living on scraps, trying to leverage all of our resources into these properties, really using up every possible means to pull together capital so that we can live and pour money into these projects so that they can come together, right? And honestly, it's gotten pretty dark, pretty dismal. It's been a very difficult and strenuous summer. And really, despite my greatest efforts, I really have been bracing myself for things not to work out and really fall apart. However, I've had this sense of peace and calmness about this situation because, you know, even making that last video, as I've had all this anxiety building in me about this situation, I just keep pausing and remembering, God's got this. And I know He brought me this business. I know He brought me these deals. I know this is what He wants me to be doing right now. And so I just need to trust Him. And I don't know if you're a big Game of Thrones fan, but we just finished binge watching all of it and we will never be the same. Gosh, I miss it. But in one of the later episodes, there's this battle that they call the Battle of the Bastards. And it's against Jon Snow and an army of about 2,000 men against Lord Bolton and an army of about 6,000 men. And Jon Snow and his army go into this battle knowing that they're taking on probably more than they can handle, but they're kind of trusting that they are better fighters, that they have more passion, and that they're gonna take the North back from this idiot, Lord Bolton. And so the battle comes, right? And it's not looking good for Jon Snow and his army. It's actually looking terrible. About halfway through this battle, you start to see this mountain of dead bodies just piling up. and the Bolton army is just slaying the entire Stark army. It looks like complete obliteration and destruction. It looks like the end is coming for the Stark family, for their whole chance of taking back the North and claiming what's rightfully theirs, until it looks like all hope is lost. And then all of a sudden comes in Lord Peter Baelish and 2,000 knights of the Vale on horseback. And at this point, the Bolton army is tired and exhausted, and this Lords of the Vale just come and plow through the army. They just start destroying the entire Bolton forces. And because of this, they win a decisive victory, and it's a huge turning point in the show. And from there, they can kind of start building on the Starks back in the North and starting to instill good rulership and leadership in the Seven Kingdoms. So, what does this have to do with money and my situation right now? Well, guys, God just did the very same thing in our life. So I shared with you how dark it's been, how dismal it's looked, how I've been losing a lot of hope, but also trusting God to kind of pull us through. So 2 or 3 of these deals that we took on last year, they're finally starting to wrap up and come to fruition, and we've done a great job, and we're super proud of everything that's come together. And a couple days ago, I listed one on the market, and I've kind of had this idea in my mind of what the asking price will be. So we listed it at that. And you know, the market in Butte is kind of slumping. And so I kind of expected to list it at this amount. And then I expected it to kind of sell fast, but you always kind of give on the price because you want to sell it and you want to get rid of it. So that's definitely what I expected. I expected to list it and then people come in at offers, and then we'd settle somewhere in the middle, come lower down on the price. But despite Butte's market being in a slump, we listed the property, and the very same night we got a full price offer. And then the next morning we get 3 more full price offers. And now we're right on the tail end of this bidding war where people are super into the house. They dig it. They want to build a life there. They want to build a family there. That's exactly what we want when we flip these houses. And it worked, and people love it. And now the price, instead of going down like we expected, it's going up. I think it even took our realtor by surprise. This kind of thing isn't super likely lately around Butte, but God's doing it. So that's turning out super well. And then there's this other project that we're right in the middle of this refinance. We're trying to hold some rental properties, but we really need a lender to come around and refinance because we got a ton of equity in these properties, and we need to pull out some of that equity so that we can pay off some of the other debts and just reorganize stuff around. So we're refinancing this one house, and you know, when you're refinancing a place, you got to tell the lender what you estimate the thing is worth, kind of according to your best guesses. And when I do that, I kind of go pretty conservatively so that we don't come into the appraisal and the price comes back way lower and you look like a fool and it just ruins the whole deal. So I come in a little bit lower, but the appraiser called me 2 days ago and he said, hey, I got good news. This first house that we're working on for this refinance, it came in 25% higher than you told me that it was worth. So you're gonna be getting a whole lot more money back on that one, guy. This was huge, huge. Both of these 2 things happened in one day. And it seriously was like this scene in the Game of Thrones where God just comes rushing in while we're defeated and dying and have no hope. He comes rushing in and not only helps us win, but completely demolish the enemy. So I'm not saying that these 2 deals are really gonna fix our entire problem because we still got a long ways to go. But what I am saying is the pressure and the weight of our situation is going to decrease by 80% because of this. Because against all odds, God is working out this thing to where we are taken care of and we are actually going to be able to work this all together. And He is telling me, at least personally, that Matt, I told you, I got you. I am behind these deals. I am behind your work. I'm behind your business. I'm behind you and Ani and the kids, and I'm taking care of you guys. You don't gotta worry. You work hard. You do all that you can do, and I'm gonna do the rest. So I am just on top of the world because really, Ani and I have been in this season of testing, and our patience is being put to the test. And it's grueling and it's tough, and we are sacrificing a lot right now to make our life work, and we are working so hard to make everything come together, and it's just been exhausting, guys. It's been so difficult. And so these two things coming together is such a breath of fresh air, and it's just a reminder from God that He has got this. And so I'm gonna put another point up on the board for him, and I hope money doesn't get any points on the board, but if money ever does, I'll be honest and I'll share that with you. But I hope God just keeps showing up and helping us to knock out this debt that we need to knock out, and helping all of our projects come together so that we can pay off our lenders, take a little bit of profit, and just keep reinvesting and building our life, building into our future. And that's where we're at. So I really honestly just wanted to record this again for myself, to remind myself, because I need the reminders, because I know in a week, in a month, in 2 months, I'm gonna be tempted to be stressed out again, and this voice of money is just gonna be coming to steal, kill, and destroy everything that's good inside of me. So videos like this help me, and I hope to put them out there to encourage you a little bit. So thanks for listening, and we'll just keep trucking on. See you next time.
Guys, check out the other videos right over there and there. Hi there, how's your day? And press the subscribe button right up there. Boink, boink. Comment below and tell us what you think. If you like that video, then smash that little button. Share a video with your friends by pushing that share button right down there.